Hello, hello, chat. How are we doing today? Okay, two things. You might notice I have a new microphone that is slightly louder than the other one, and hopefully should be better to use. I am planning on switching over operating systems at some point. I'm not sure when, but this microphone's the first step to do so. My other microphone wouldn't allow me to run the very much proprietary software on Linux for whatever reason. It's like weirdly specific, right? Like I believe it works on Mac, it definitely works on Windows, but doesn't work on Linux? Like why? Anyway, let me just quickly switch over to here. And I need to edit this. Apologies chat, I thought I had edited this before stream, but apparently not. So we're doing animation assessments today. Assessments, yes, plural. I have 2 I want to get done this stream. Alright, there we go. So this is the first assessment. So interpolation being... Where is it? I'm actually going to split this up. And I'm going to plot the dope sheet. Dope sheet? Yes, dope sheet. So, the first thing I have to do for these assessments, so the first assessment I have to do is I have to move these shapes according to, like, what the note says here. So, it'll be, like, constant. Well, it'll make more sense once I pull up the motion on the dope sheet. And then the second assessment I have to do is I have to make a ball go in a circle and loop it 5 times. But the catch is that I have to use specifically 5 frames for that. 5 frames, 5 keyframes. Alright, so what have we got here? So we got constant, linear, Bezier, and just random font for that last one. So I'll do this one first. I am in pose mode. I'm going to put auto keying on this one. So, grab this. Let's put it to like 6 meters. Yeah, I think it works. And I think I want to go 31 frames forward. And then that, so it becomes 6 meters on that frame, and then frame 61 I want it to be back to 0. And then I'm going to set the end of this to be 60 frames so it loops. So you can play that. Oh, I'm in the wrong. That's not supposed to be 0, that's supposed to be -6. Whoopsies. This is what happens when you don't pay attention, chat. So, go to item, I actually want this to be back at -6. Now if I do this, this should... Yep. Now I need to... The dope sheet isn't actually where I want to be. I want to be in the graph editor. Oh. I apologize. I've got a lot of stuff around my desk since I've just changed over this mic. There's probably still some stuff on the floor that I might bump into. Not intentional, I swear. So if I do this, I'm just gonna squeeze this a little bit closer together. There we go. I can actually somewhat see what I'm doing. So the first one is, I believe it said constant. Yeah, constant. So if I go into here, I can believe there is a way for me to, yeah, so if I hit T, I've got all these keyframe interpolations that I can mess around with, and the one I want, this top square, is constant. I should actually probably A then T, constant. So now whenever I play this, it's going to go over to the other side and then go back. I think that's pretty easily done. So the next one, I believe, is linear. So same thing as before, grab this, G minus 6. And then go to frame 31, G6. No. Actually it's 12, isn't it? Yep. I can do math, chat, I swear. And then 61, go back to -6. So now we've got this, but this is the Bezier interpolation still. So if I grab all these, press T, and I click linear, so now it should just bounce in between the 2 points at a consistent rate without any slowdown or speed up. So basically without any momentum. Oh, that's pretty easily done. And this one is just the regular Bezier, so I'm going to frame 1, G6. It's helpful because all of these are locked except for the X. If I tried doing that in any other way, it would just not work out well for me. So G plus 12. And then back to here. G minus 12. Now if these go... Yeah, so we've got constant, linear, and Bezier movements. So I believe the difference is, obviously, the constant switches from one spot to another. So it just goes from there at frame 31, it immediately teleports to the other side, and then it waits until frame 61, where it just returns back to where it was. Linear, it moves without any speed up or slowdown. It's literally just moving in a straight line without any other effect. And Bezier has this curve here where it slowly accelerates to a constant rate, and then it slows down before hitting the frame, like the next keyframe. So it goes back and forth, just like that. Cool. Now there is a couple of... So this is like the fun one. It's just like, oh yeah, surprise me. So for this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because there's like so many things I could. Like, I'm going to lock all of these for now. Now I'm going to lock the Y-axis, because I don't really want it moving backwards and forwards. Like, it can move up and down, but it can't move backwards and forwards here. So for this one, I'm just going to do, like, the base keyframing. So, have this be at 6, have this be on the other side, and then have this back at -6. I'm going to stop that for now. So it's basically the same as the blue sphere above it. Now I'm going to faff about with some stuff, I guess. I believe there was settings that I could use to mess about with this thing here. So obviously I've got easy and whatnot. Actually, let's try messing around it. So if I do circular, oh, that's kind of interesting actually. It like really quickly goes to the right and then eases to left for just zooming back. Okay. Rather interesting. What about cubic? It seems like it just messes with this side a little bit. Also, I can mess around with the handles too, so I can just like do this maybe. See what this does. Oh, that just flies off screen. It just zooms off screen and doesn't come back until like, what frame is that? It disappears on frame 33 and doesn't come back until frame 40. That's funny. How does that happen? Who knows? Alright, let's see. What other hand types we have? Vector, which just has the like triangular movements. If I grab this, I believe it actually changes it to a different handle. Yeah, because you can see it's green, but the second you move it off that section specifically, it turns black. So I assume it turns into a free handle. Okay, have I got circus-ass music going on right now? I haven't even done anything to deserve this yet. I haven't, like, messed up once so far this stream. But you have the audacity to give me goddamn circus music? How dare you? Also, sorry for popping the microphone, chat. I'm still working out the kinks on this. Okay, so we got bounce. Let's see what this does. Oh, interesting. It rises up and it looks like somebody's just dropped the ball sideways, like it looks like gravity goes this way. Oh, this would have been so helpful to know, like, a few streams ago when I was just doing that ball. Oh, that would have been nice to know. Okay, so we got that. How about... what about exponential? So it almost looks like somebody's like slowly throwing a ball in the air and then it just drops. Like, that's rather bizarre. Also, it means I didn't have to calculate the whole bouncing thing, like the whole elasticity issue. I mean, it'd probably be good for when I'm making specific materials bounce later on, but it wasn't required, I guess. Now, I do know there is a funny little setting, if I can find it, that is supposed to... Ah, here we go, modifiers. So I got things like generators, envelope, cycles, but I want to do noise. So if we do this, it just jitters around. It looks unstable as heck. That's kind of neat, actually. Like, it kind of just looks like a rabid animal, almost. Like, I can just basically hear the thing growling from here. So if I do this... So I do kind of want to make this loop. Is there a way that I can do that? Why is... I'm sorry, is this a handle? Okay, that must be the keyframe, so that other one must be the handle then. Okay, that's just a handle, false alarm chat. So is this in the exact same position as this? Because if so, that's kind of wild. Alright, where is modifiers? Is don't want a noise, but I wanna. No, I don't want to subtract actually. I love how I drag this through and it's just shaking violently. Like the other three shapes are just sitting there like, dude, are you okay? What happens if I like set this really high? Oh, it does not like that. Although that does give me a few ideas. Maybe let's set that back down to something just a smidge more reasonable. Let's try probably 1.5 for now. Oh, interesting. With the scale being at 0, it disappears. The second that it gets set to 0.1, it starts doing stuff. But at this, like, the larger it goes, the smoother it gets, it seems. So if I do this, yeah, it just adds a little bit of detail without being too overpowering. I guess this is how things like breathing effects are made. So like, I imagine it would be on a loop though, so I imagine it'd be more cyclic than anything else. So what does phase do, I wonder? So let's set this back to 1. What does phase do? I guess, it changes the randomness. Okay, makes sense. So it's more or less the same. And it just eats itself forward. I wonder if there's a way to do noise for one specific section of the animation and then not restrict frame range. Okay, yeah, there is a way to do it. So if I do this from, say, start range 1 and then say 20, maybe? Yeah, and then it shakes and then throws itself forward. And then it bounces back down. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I could work with that. So it shakes a little bit, then goes forward, hits the top, and then just bounces back down. Man, the things you can do with the interpolation in between keyframes is rather impressive, actually. Okay, I think that's perfectly acceptable. Oh, it's done a thing. No, I just wanted to scroll that back up. I didn't want to get rid of it. But now it's just going to... Almost looks like something's been... So you'd have to, like, turn it on its side to see it, but it looks like it's shaking from some magical force, lifting it up, lifts up into the air, and then it gets dropped, and then it just bounces on the ground. That is... Maybe I should actually save that for later. Let's make a note of it. I've got, like, sticky notes open another tab that I can take these notes down in. Alright. So I'll just quickly save I did not mean to save it over that though. Let me just quickly fix that. Thankfully, I have it so it does save like a Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's save this as before I break anything else. So if I go up, go, save that. But yeah, that'd be a rather interesting effect if I was doing, I don't know, a character that had magic or something along those lines. Now, just cancel out of that. I do believe, where is the next one? The next one is, oh, something really went wrong here. Imagine chat, I just need to quickly open up the recycle bin. I think I deleted the wrong thing. I did, in fact, delete the wrong thing. Alright, please put that back where you found it, or so help me God. Okay, let's do this correctly this time. And there we go. Now here is the next assignment that I have. So I have a ball. And the idea is to make the ball go around in a continuous circle using 5 keyframes, which shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. So if I grab this here, here, here. Oh wait, I forgot to do. I'm dumb. I forgot to go forward a few frames. How long do I want this animation to be? I'll do 10 seconds for a start. Here we go. Grab that. Go to 20. Put that there, and then frame 30. It's here again, and then frame 40. Goes like that. I just realized that I have maybe done just a minor goof. I want to grab these by 1 frame. There we go. Go. Now, I do believe there is actually a thing I can activate here to show where the, motion paths. Here we go. So if I calculate this, I'm gonna set this to 40 frames. And calculate this. Now, it does show me this. Did I goof up somewhere around here? I think I might have. Frame 11. Yeah, that's correct. Frame 21. Yeah. Frame 31. Yep. And then for some reason, it doesn't do what I wanted it to at the top. Odd. How do I fix this? Because I could have sworn this was even spacing. 11, 21, 31, and then 41. So I must have goofed something. I have this in 45 frames. So yeah, that shows me both, but it's still... So the bottom is properly cursed, but the top is not. I wonder if I grab these. I think there's a setting where I can set them to be... Here we go. Make cyclic. If I update the path, yeah, okay, now it's circular. It's because I believe it was because at the start of this animation here, that was actually entirely flat, as was this other side. So now that it's cyclic, it should just go in a circle continuously. And if I switch this back to be 40 frames, and I flip the path, if I do this, it should do this. If I turn this off, yeah, we shouldn't see any difference there. Alright, cool. Yeah, I think that was all I had to do for this one, was just to make it loop with 5 frames. Oh, right, there was a couple of other things. I do have them written down here. Extend the time between frames using the E command, the timeline. Oh yeah, I believe it was 60 frames per second by the end. 60 frames rather, not 60 frames per second. The entire animation was 60 frames. And use motion path, done that. Make the animation loop 5 times. Right, so I do unfortunately need to extend these. So I believe if I put it... I need to select all of these. And then press E. No? Was it... Do I have to grab specific ones? How does this work? Ah, I have to grab specific ones. Okay. Five. Five, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That should put me at 61. So now when I play this, this does move slower. And of course, because the motion path isn't updated, it shows the movement being a lot faster than it actually is. So if I update this, I need to extend this to 60 frames and update the path. Now, if I do this, yep, goes in a circle. Okay. Nice. And now I need to extend this out to 300 frames so it loops 5 times. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be 5. And then that just loops perfectly on itself anyway. So if you think about it carefully, it technically is infinite loops. But yeah, the looping comes from the keyframes itself. Like, these first 5 frames dictate the rest of the other... I believe that would be 240 frames? Okay. I believe there's anything else I needed to do for this particular practice. I just needed to make this ball go in a loop 5 times. Alright, I'll just save this then, and I think I can go back to doing the Spyro images that I was doing yesterday. It'll give me something to do at least. Yeah. Practice. Cool. That should be fine. There we go. I can just do that for now. Alright, time to reopen. It's 2 that I was on, wasn't it? Yeah, so I... got that. Now it's time for me to animate some other things on here. So I am going to create a new scene with a full copy. And where am I going to put this one? Because there's like a few different options I've got here. Like I've got... There should be a rocket in here. I don't think they have the rocket model though. I'll have to have a quick look-see. Just excuse 1 second, chat, while I peruse the resource site that hosted this file to begin with. Let's go through. And scroll all the way down. Because my god, there's a lot of these models on here. It does not appear... Yeah, they have the whirligig, but they don't have the rocket. I do believe the whirligig does technically apply to Evening Lake, though. Because the whirligig lands, I believe, here? So I could have this if I wanted to. What else do we have? We have a lot of underwater sections, because half of this map is just underwater. We do have that as an option. Honestly, having something themed around the pirate ship would be kind of cool. Just... I thought this worked in object mode. Is it because... Oh wait, it was Alt middle mouse button. I am just dumb. I'm sorry, chat. So, like, this could be a thing. Although, might make Scythe there a little too much like a fish. I'd also have to change the lighting entirely too, because obviously it's going to be an underwater section. What else have we got? We got this thing in here, which is a breakable wall, which leads into the small room. It does contain a dragon egg, although I suppose if I really wanted it to, it could contain other things. Like treasure, dark secrets, just whatever I felt like. I suppose like an underwater, like, walk towards one of these portals would be sort of interesting. There's this tunnel here. I don't want to do too many underwater scenes. I've already done one underwater image for, I believe it was Midday Garden? I'm not even sure what that was, but I'm pretty sure that was an English word. So this leads to Fireworks Factory. I could have the character sitting on top of here. Might be an idea. Or even up here. Because there is one section down here, I believe. Where is it? It's not here, is it? It doesn't look correct. No, it's like there's a... It looks like there's supposed to be a portal there, but what that actually is a trap. It's supposed to go into a cage. But I guess it didn't render in this map, which means I probably have to make my own. That's a little annoying, I think. So I'll have a think about how I'm going to do that one, because I do want that to be a scene. I'm not going to spoil it just yet, though. Actually, no, this is going to bother me until I look it up. Page. I believe... I would assume that there was multiple images of this, but apparently... like, whenever I search this up, it mainly just shows the whale, which, I mean, yeah, the whale internals is on this map because it is a separate section of the map, but that is not what I am asking for. I'll try Google Actual and see if I get any results here. Spyro 3 Eden Lake page. Damn it, DuckDuckGo! You weren't the one I was asking. Search this time using Google. The only reason I don't like Google is because for whatever reason it has itself permanently set to 240% scale, and I don't know how to get rid of that. Yeah, it's just it doesn't exist. Like, it's a really specific for anyone who hasn't played the game. Your companion hunter gets caught in a cage after falling through a trap door. And for some reason, like, it is a physical object in the game that you can find if you do the swim through air glitch. But it's just not there in here, which makes me think it's an actual, like, physical object as opposed to a mesh that's inside the map. Okay, how do I want to make this scene? Like, I will have my character here just, like, sitting down. I think will probably be best. Let's select these. Let's grab that. Okay. Actually, that is kind of the perfect size for the character to just sit on. That's pretty humorous. So, just go to pose mode quickly. Just Alt GRS. Just so I have a better idea of where it is. And I don't want to sprint. Let's go. Honestly, this music do be poppin' though. So yeah, I can have the character just sitting up here maybe. Even, I've already done a low angle shot, but at the same time I feel like another low angle is in order. Just because of the way this entire scene looks. Just do that. Just like zoom out a bit. Make my character just look a little bit smaller. And actually, there is a setting I can activate in here. You can see... Where is it? Viewport display... No, it is not that one. Here we go. Composition guides. So you can turn these on to just have a better guide as to where you want to place, like, objects in your scene. So I can have it centered, I can have it diagonal. I might do diagonal this time. Which would mean my character's best area would probably be around about here. So yeah, like equally in 3 spots at the same time. Honestly, that's actually not a bad location for the character to be sitting in. It seems to hit every area quite well. So I'm going to do some posing. I would like to be able to grab these things. So I'm going to line that probably slightly further down, but for now it should be fine. this again. Probably even a bit further than that. Lift the legs just slightly higher. Like, again, it's just like tucking the legs in slightly. Just pull it down a bit. Pull this up a bit. Maybe pull that up a bit more. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Now, I want to keep the lighting pretty consistent here, because I feel like if I change the lighting angle, especially for people who've played this game before, it's going to look strange. Go. Okay, so what we're doing now. Just want to... I have spent an inordinate amount of time modeling my character, like my Minecraft character, to just be sitting on various objects. Like, obviously I had, like, this one here, I had the thumbnail for the YouTube videos, but, like, I've also modeled some other situations. My character's just, all she does is sit. Which, I mean, like, fair enough. But, like, damn, this bitch be lazy. Okay, yeah, probably just rotate that a little bit more. It does kind of look like she's staring into the sun, which is very much a Minecraft cyclonic thing to do. Is there anything else I want to add to this scene? I don't think there's much I can, actually. Like, it's one thing to just have the character on the left, but it just feels empty without something on the right-hand side, weirdly enough. But there's nothing that could feasibly go into the scene that could fill that in. You know? Like, I mean, it's all well and good for my character to be sitting there, but there's nothing I can put on the right-hand side, because you look down, it's just straight water. Like, the only thing possibly is maybe the whale, but that whale model is pretty large. Like, you've got this here, which isn't the size of the actual whale, but it's pretty close to the entire sizing, which is not something I want to attempt to fit in here. But at the same time, I just don't want to do another central position thing. I might even... Okay, that might work slightly better, because it feels like there's more mountain range off to the side. Oh. Okay. I don't know why the camera's moving so slowly. Okay, it's because it's probably zoomed all the way in. Oh god, okay, I can actually just do this. And what I can do is I can actually adjust the focal length of the camera to maybe even 60mm, just to... Okay, that looks a bit better. Okay, that focal length looks a lot more reasonable for this particular image. So I'm certainly not going to complain. I turn this off. The only problem is that there's just like a little bit of thing there. But if I move this over slightly, it doesn't look nearly as obvious. Like, it seems to be some sort of geometry stacked in the back there. Like, if I turn this around, you can see it a bit better. Oh, that's an interesting angle. Just not exactly looking up at the camera, but sort of looking up in that general direction. The only problem is, the only reason you would use this angle, I feel like, is if you were going to be using it for, what's the thing? It's like, the only reason you would be using that particular angle is if the character was actively looking up at something in interest. So there would actually be something there that, like, say, there's like an enemy or a friend or whatever, like some point of interest. Because the lower down angle just makes it look like, oh yeah, just looking off into the distance. But this just makes it look like there's something that's caught the character's attention. You know? Also, I'm just gonna shake that smooth. Like, it's a good angle, don't get me wrong, but good lord, that's not the sort of thing I would want to be doing. Another thing I could do is I could do like an over-the-shoulder shot, but at the same time, like, again, it's just one of those things. Actually, my character is seemingly looking up at this. So what I can do is I can actually have the thing look up here. Now, what is up here? I believe this is the, this is access to the spark level for this particular world. So there's like, Sparks being Spyro's companion, he has his own individual levels. There's one per homeworld after you've defeated the, like, once you've exited the homeworld, defeated the boss, and come back, there'll be a level there that Sparks can do. So this is access to, like, level, like this particular level, Sparks level. Which one is this? I believe this is Starfish Reef, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's Starfish Reef anyway. But yeah, you can have, this is actually not entirely unreasonable to have the characters staring in. Is there models for, like, I believe there's pots in here, like the, chargeable metal one. Let me have a quick look. Thinking, like, if I do that, there's actually no, oh, there is one image, but there's like, it doesn't show anything. That is not helpful to me. Yeah, there's like no images up here. Like, all the images in question actually come from Reignited and not the original trilogy. And while I know logically there's no functional difference between the two, it just annoys me because I'm looking for Spyro 3 specifically. I'm not looking for Reignited trilogy. I understand why it's there, though. Okay, this vaguely, I don't know why, but vaguely sounds like Minecraft music. Just very vaguely. It's not an awful angle, actually. I have the character staring up at here. I do need to probably adjust the camera focal length again, though. So let's do maybe 80. Just really zoom it in. Although at that point it starts becoming just slightly unbelievable. I am going to quickly just search up a camera focal length usage guide. Oh, interesting. So 100mm is not entirely out of the question. Okay. So wide angle telephoto lens. Alright, that's not impossible. It's just that if you were using a really long focal length, you'd be basically right up in the grill, more or less. Why? There's okay. So there's an image here that I legitimately can't make head to tails of because it's the same person. I probably don't get it. But these just all look like the exact same image. I guess the only difference is the background probably is entirely different, which is fair. But it's just slightly confusing to me. Also, I forgot to turn the depth field back on. Okay, I need to actually probably even set this to... Yeah, that's a bit better. I do need to remember to do focal lengths. It's all well and good to do stuff without them, but it doesn't really help here. Also, I forgot to turn on the focal length here too. Whatever it's called. I'm just going to... Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to turn depth of field on and focus specifically on here. There we go. I actually didn't want to focus on this, I want to focus on the object. I just like the idea of having some semblance of focal length. Okay, phone, go off, I guess. So if I put this on cycles... but there's no light coming from this internal section, which means I need to throw down some lights. I do know there is actually light in here. So these, believe it or not, are actually lights. I need to go into layout mode. So I need to shift A, I need to add myself probably a point light. Radius, 2 meters. That's way too large, actually. What is the size of that? 0.33? Now I want to set this to a yellowish color. And just quickly pop it down here. Set the cycles. There we go. Now I need to Alt-D this. This particular light. Set it to scene collection. And duplicate this. Move along the not Z. Okay, so if I do this now, I can grab this one, grab both of these, duplicate them, and move them along the... Let's just do the Shift Z for now. I believe that should, result in that one being in the correct position. And set this to 500 watts. It's a bit unrealistic, but there is lights coming from inside there. And did they remove the custom distance from here? Because if so, that's a bra moment. Like, why would they do that? Okay, got that. Sorry, chat. Some fourth doesn't help here. It looks alright, I guess, because like it does imply that there's lights coming from within there. I prefer them if they were probably even like 5. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks good because there seems to like the lighting makes it look like this is the main focal point, which is the entire point of this particular image. Like, the Minecraft character is the focal point here. So I think this works. I might even tweak this to be slightly different color, probably like about there. And maybe increase the sat just a little bit. So it keeps like a relatively consistent, even coloring, but the character down here will just be like that. Now, if I rotate this Y, like I want her to be more facing the camera almost. And grab this. I do still want the character to be more or less sitting on the thing, so Y. See. Maybe if can I grab this and drag it down slightly? No. I can for that one though. And yeah, that works. Okay. Take that back a bit further. Now, unfortunately, the hand does seem to be clipping a bit into the pyramid, and it does actually show on the image. So I need to probably bend this forward a bit. Same with this one, just bend it forward as such that the hand clipping isn't nearly as noticeable. Actually, I can rotate it and see a bit. Oh, that. I'll just grab this. Probably slightly too high on the eyebrow, just make it slightly lower. Ah, that looks to be really clipped actually. Yeah, it's like clipping halfway through my character. So I'm just going to grab this. Actually, I'll probably just rotate this back to a more reasonable position. Probably even rotate that back. Okay, I think that's acceptable. Like, there's a lot of empty space here, but at least there's something to break up the seam with this wall here. The only minor problem that I had, again, is just leading lines like this one here. It just seems to almost fuse down to this mountain. But I feel like it's less prevalent than what I had going on before. Actually, I'm going to twist the body to be facing slightly more. Down slightly. Oh, don't tell me I'm having clipping issues again. I think it's because I'm dragging things down constantly. Like, this is a really difficult one to work with, especially considering one of these days I want to be able to do, like, video game characters in real life areas, like having, say, characters walk around the local city and all that. But if they're clipping through things, it doesn't really make it look all the more believable, unfortunately. So I have to sort of figure out the partial clipping issues whenever I do anything like this. What I do want to do, do I really want to, though? Because there's a thing here, right? So, like, these red sections, for all intents and purposes, are actually supposed to be extruded outward. So, these are supposed to be, like, protective shoulder pads, technically speaking. So, if I extrude these out... First of all, that looks ugly as hell. What the hell was I thinking? What about individual faces? There we go. But yeah, it just looks strange. Does it not? I think it's supposed to be like these black sections here, like these corners, are supposed to be thing as well, but I don't think it works out all too well. I think that I'm gonna think on this one for a bit, but I think for the time being, it works out semi-well. So I'm gonna switch this back to EV so my computer doesn't keep screaming at me. Pyramid. Can I use full stops? Okay, pyramid.sit. Now the third one. What do I want to do for the third one? Full copy. And what do I want to do here? I could do like a Jonah and the whale type of situation where the character is trying to fight to get out of the whale's stomach, but I think that would not work out. There's so many different ways I could go about this particular world. Because you've got things like the rocket, you've got... Like, you had this and this, which we've already done. But we have this area here, we have here, which would have the whirligig otherwise, which I can get, I believe, a model of from the same website. Oh, apparently... So there's a power-up gate here. I believe it's invincibility. And it's not here, so it must be a imported model. And then there's this area here, which again just leads to the rocket. And then there's this entire underwater section. There's supposed to be portals in here too, but without, like, knowing what the skybox images look like, I can't really do much about this, except maybe make a custom portal texture. Not entirely unreasonable, just a little bit annoying. There's obviously here, which I can probably even have my character swimming out of. Have like the character swimming out this side, have like a portal here. Could even have something coming out of the portal if I wanted to. Or I could have like the whale in the background if I could grab the whale model as well. So many different options. Like, the whale usually cycles through here, so it swims underneath this particular bridge, it just swims around the bottom here. So I'd have to... Why, hello there. Hey, Foxy, how you doing? How was stream? I saw that you were already having troubles with the whole blood generator thing, so I was just like, I'm not going to interrupt him too much. Because obviously, it's kind of humorous to me how you just look through here and it's just empty void. Like, you would think in the game there'd be like a wall there to prevent people from getting out of bounds, but no, it's just empty, like the space between my eyes. Or ears in this case. Oh yeah, there's this as well. There's the portal to I believe it's Bentley's Outpost, the level's called. Although it'd be absolutely comical to have the character fist fighting Moneybags. Maybe that's a different series of images I could do. Not right now, though. But someday. One of these days, perhaps. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'm gonna do another underwater scene. 'Twas good, minus the constant going against the same killer. Oh, really? Was it just a meta day today? Because if so, that's unfortunate. Another thing is, too, is I could, have the character, like, swimming around here. Like, I'm not sure which would be better. Having the character... Because one of the ideas, right, is having the character hanging off of this post here and just making it look somewhat interesting. The Ghoul, aka the new anime killer. Oh, that's of course it's anime, but like, I hate it when people get a new toy and then just overdo it to death, and you know inevitably it's gonna get nerfed, but if you're one of the people who enjoys playing it, that nerf is gonna suck for you. Like, I get the whole shiny new play thing, but it turns out it's broken. That's gonna suck for them. Okay, there is this as well, but it just leads to the other side here. And all this is just an empty space. Like, it makes sense because in the game there'd be gens and I believe underwater bottles lining this section. But they're not here because the objects don't exist in the map data. One of the original ideas I had was having the character jump from here into the water, just like head first dive. The Ghoul is okay, but he needs to be nerfed badly. He's way too OP with the stupid auto aim. They added auto aim to specific killers. Okay, like, but aren't most of the killers melee? What's the Ghoul's deal? Literally hits you through walls? Bruh, you're joking. Surely nobody would be that dumb to add wall hacks to a character, to like an official character. Surely nobody is that silly. It's a special ability? Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm so sorry for your frustration, Foxy. Like, do I want to do swing or do I want to do like a not as melee? So what's his special ability then? Maybe if I had the character like goofing off with the ship. Could do that. Or I could have the character frantically running away from the, or swimming away from the whale that's trying to eat her. That could be a thing. I'm not entirely certain. Because there's like little cave things down here, so I suppose you could have like hiding from something if you wanted to. Maybe even around here? I'd actually have it perhaps like this. Possibly, and have like my character swimming underneath the what is basically a broken archway here. Yes, let's give this a try. So if but the focal length is going to be arse, unfortunately. Alright, let's just quickly edit this. Also, another 5-hour stream. Jesus. Oh, that's pretty impressive. Like, I seem to only, at the moment, really hit 2 to 3 hours. Like, I just don't want to overdo it by accident. Okay. So I actually do want to change the sliding to be blue. Let's keep it like this for the moment. Let's do the suns first. So I want this one to be like this, but maybe get the hue to probably 0.6. H. Okay, 0.6. And then copy that and fix that. Yeah. Now, what I need to do is remove. I honestly don't know how I'm able to stream for so long without any breaks. Yeah, I'm surprised too, because even I need a few mouthfuls of water every so often to, not absolutely decimate my vocal cords. And so I need to get rid of this guy extra. Now if I go underwater, that's going to be like that. However, if I switch this to cycles, but it doesn't. I should make it so I take a break at least every hour, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, Foxy, do you want like a tip? And this is just something I've noticed, right? So you know how you have like the whole ad break going on because you're affiliated, obviously? What you should do is you should actually try scheduling those for every like 15, probably even 30 minutes would be better. Because not only does it get rid of the pre-roll ads at the start of your stream so people can actually see your stuff immediately, but it would just make it so you have breaks every so often. I think would, at the very least in my opinion, would be a good idea. You do not have to take this advice, but it is just my thought. Now, for whatever reason, the alpha is not doing what I'd expect it to. I think it's already set to 30 minutes, but I think you have to do it manually in order to prevent the pre-rolls from happening, which you can control. So if I set this to cycles, this doesn't do anything. Ah, here we go. So I wonder if using transmission... Yeah, here we go. So if I plug the alpha back in... So that's the transmission. Now, the million-dollar question. What is the index of refraction for water? Thankfully, I do actually have something here that tells me the refraction of most materials. So, refraction of water at... I'm going to say for the sake of, like this particular homeworld, I'm going to say it's about 20 degrees. So the index of refraction would be 1.33. Like, it's 1.333 recurring, I assume. So, if I am underwater now... Yeah, it vaguely shows some lighting. I'll have to have a look at it tomorrow. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. Or later. Yeah, just whenever. It's not an immediate urgent thing. I just thought it might be something that would be good to point out. I'm going to set the alpha to 0.75. And then even with this, I can just set the exposure up. Okay, that looks good. So I'm just going to set the exposure to 0 for now. Depends on if I start falling asleep or not. I mean, fair enough. I mean, hey, you need your naps. Okay. By the way, is the microphone any good? Like, I'm not sure about its current, its current performance, because I've only just installed this thing up. Actually, I'm going to set this to -1. And if I set this back to Eevee, it's just going to not show what I want it to, but that's fine. I'm just happy I can stream DBD now. I absolutely love streaming and meeting new people. I mean, fair enough. Sounds like you're having a fun time, and who am I to deprive you of that joy? Okay, so grab all the objects here. Where are they? Thankfully, quite close by. And yes, the mic sounds amazing. Okay, good. It's hilarious because I had the same microphone as Charles did, but it's been causing me some problems, especially in the whole not being able to use proprietary software and the the whole proprietary software in the Linux situation. So I thought, definitely not as quiet as you were before. Yeah, I think that was a problem I was having. It's just like I didn't want to set the microphone too loud. But as long as it's picks up your voice better, yeah, I can tweak the settings on this a lot easier now, and now I can do dumb shit like this. Hello, chat. I now have a dedicated echo slider for this thing. Why am I allowed this option? Who knows? But now, like, if somebody does something stupid, I can just whistle the me channel theme with the echo enabled. So, I've maybe been given slightly too much power. We'll see. This also has a built-in soundboard, but, like, the sounds that come packaged default are just ridiculously loud. So I'm not going to inflict that on you in chat. position. Actually, come to think of it, this boat isn't even really a boat. It's more of a dinghy, is it not? Because, like, I get, like, the whole bottom section here is quite large. But, like, you compare the actual size of the sail. Like, this thing is absolutely tiny. Oh, by the way, off topic, but I was going through my clips and I have made over the years, and the Alexa Shut is literally the first clip I made ever. Well, I'm honored that I was your first ever clip. I am genuinely surprised and somewhat honored that the Alexa Shut is the clip. I love now whenever I say that, the Echo doesn't even respond. Like, it doesn't even activate. But of course, the second I'm actually doing something. Alright, okay, what is this rock art song? Oh. I say that every time. It's because it's scared of you. Yeah, I would assume that was the case. I think everyone else is too. I keep saying, what is this rock hard song every single time as though I haven't looked up this song multiple times. Okay. 1, 2. Just edit all this stuff. Not do it in the X-axis by accident. I'm not scared of you. If I'm scared of anyone, it's Polly. I haven't heard that name in years. How is Polly doing? He scares me. To be fair, Foxy, respectfully, you are a little bitch. I say that because you've also had quite a few reservations for playing certain games like, oh, I don't know, Pressure. He doing his own life things. I mean, fair enough. I could line this ship with gems if I wanted to, and I might do, but we'll see. I actually probably want to have one of these arms more outstretched. Y-axis. Oh, it doesn't want to rotate the Y-axis, huh? To be fair, I have a reason to be scared of him after the ASMR roleplays he's done. I'm sorry, did I miss a memo? What is going on with that? Like, was there some memo I was supposed to get and then just didn't? So if I... Sorry, chat. Just still facing downwards, so... Don't mind me, just had to mime out the motion of swimming, so I had a better idea. Okay, I think that's a lot closer. It all started with an RP of him making me Oh, no, Foxy. I feel like there is some unspoken trauma I am not legally qualified to deal with here. Okay, I think that's actually the correct way to... Yeah, I don't think I am qualified to deal with this particular set of issues. Now, I'm actually gonna do a funny. I'm gonna have... Actually, let's change the position to be... Maybe around here? And then I'm actually going to take... I know this is going to look strange. I'm going to make my character bald. I'm going to take the blindfold off of her and I'm going to hang it from one of the posts on here to make it look like she's just lost it. So if I... object mode, grab this. Okay, there we go. I don't know why, but it seems to really want to zoom around. Oh, it's because it's still posed in pose mode. And then there was the time he included Mike into the mix when he doesn't even know him. Oh no! Wait, does Michael know about this? Does he know about that, Foxy? I'm gonna copy this. I'm actually just gonna paste it in the main collection. No? Oh, well now I just have ammunition against you. I have receipts. Because I don't want him to know. I mean, fair enough. I'm not gonna tell him. Because that would actually just legitimately be mean. What the f- Why do I keep getting bones? I did not request bones. I just requested this specific item. So I'm going to Shift D. I'm going to move this to the props collection. There we go. And now hopefully... Oh, the scale on that's really weird. If I go into edit mode, the selection. What have I done? If I go into pose mode, I can't really do anything with that. So I'm just going to... Another reason he scares me is because of his obsession with wanting... Foxy, I am not qualified for murder either. I am not qualified for any of this. I would like to have you know. Go and see a police officer about that. So if I... And then Shift S. Selection cursor. Hello? Where's the thing? What happened to my eyeballs? Why did it break again? It shouldn't have broken again. How does this keep happening? It's fine. He doesn't really come online anymore anyway. That still doesn't make me any less concerned, Foxy. Okay, I need to figure out why this keeps breaking. Why does this keep breaking? Linda, you have a lot to explain for yourself. Why do you keep doing this? Eyeball go burp. Yeah, I don't know why today, like, especially even yesterday, like, this eyeball, the left one specifically, keeps breaking. Blender doesn't like eyes, apparently. Yeah, apparently neither does my body. So, that's something they have in common, I guess. Okay, if I Alt-D this... and put it back into position. This should be fine. It's functionally the same, I think. So if I grab this, and I grab that and go Alt-R, Alt-G, yeah, that fixes. So I guess the left eye was just broken for no apparent reason? I mean, it's not entirely out of the question, it's just weird. And I still don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I do want to have this thing here be floating around somewhere, but I just need to figure out how I'm going to do that. Alright, let's can I duplicate? Okay. This is going to be a really weird thing, right, chat? So if I do this, I go back into object mode. Can I copy and paste this while Control-Zing the rest of it? Control-C. If I Control-V... No. I want to copy this specifically. For whatever reason, it fucked off into the ether. But if I duplicate this, it's not going to work properly. So, fuck me, I guess. Alright, let's, I talk about the most random shit. Not nearly as random as me. Like, I believe it was yesterday I was talking about how, for whatever reason, the neighbors were playing a specific song every day at, like, the same time. I have realized today that they do it more than once a day. Because I also distinctly heard it at around about lunchtime as well. Which makes me think, because this is going to sound really strange. There is a school nearby, and I'm not entirely convinced that it's not just the like the school bell, so to speak. My question is, why do they have Taku Poye as a song for the school's, like, for the school's bell to tell you to go to the next class? Like, why would that be a thing? But the problem is it's still linked to the... Oh wait, that's linked to something completely different. What the hell is that? What is that? Why is that there? Go away. Oh, that's the mesh for the entire map. Why is that set up in that particular manner? Because if I delete this, that entire thing goes. Why is it set up like that? Why are game developers like this? Okay, if I... do this, here we go. Now if I selection the cursor... Okay, there we go. We finally have the stupid thing around. So I'm going to have this hanging off here. So I'm going to scale it slightly. It's not going to be enough that people are going to notice. But I am going to rotate this just a smidge so it's just hanging off this post. And actually going to turn off the solidify, I think. Because it just makes it look weird if the solidify is on. Maybe if I did the solidify, make it a bit thinner even. Just like make it basically on top of each other. Oh, and by the way, Foxy, I know you were talking about this yesterday. I actually finally got like the first news articles telling me that kids were banned from evening screenings of the Minecraft movie because of their behavior. I'm just thinking, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, how do you get a specific group of people, specifically children, banned from the theaters in the evening? Like, there's a specific time, it's a specific group of people. Were they really just treating the theaters that poorly? Is this so? Like, what the hell? I knew it was bad. I didn't think it was that bad, though. I wonder if I cloth sim this. Possibly. The only issue is, like, I need to make this entire area be a physics object just so I could get this to do the correct thing. Does this have... It has solidify, it doesn't have subdiv, so using cloth physics, like the sculpting brush, probably wouldn't even work here either. But, like, that's ridiculous. Like, how do you... This morning I saw another video talking about the clips, and yes, it's gotten that bad. That is absolutely obscene. I'm gonna rotate this so it's just sort of hanging off. Yeah, I cannot believe it. Like, it's bad enough that people are, like, hooting and hollering during specific memes. I vaguely get it. But to, like, actually get a specific group of people barred for what is probably a considerable amount of time, I don't know whether I should be laughing, I should be severely disappointed. I do have the capacity for both, though. Oh, even actually, like, grab this, move it up, and then just, like, angle it so the top of it is hooked on the post. Would probably make the most sense. Just rotate it like this. But then, like, it implies... Oh, actually, I can use, what's the bastard called? Proportional edit for this. Just stretch and contort that so it's... Clips of aftermath of kids throwing flour everywhere. Clips of a team being a literal chicken. I'm sorry, bringing an actual chicken to the theater. Kids firing off confetti poppers. Okay. The third one, for not defending this, I vaguely get. But the first two, who is bringing flour into a movie theater? Who the fuck is bringing chickens into a movie theater? Like, I'm sorry, a live animal? How did they even get that into the theater in the first place? Assuming that they did manage to get it into the movie screening, I don't understand how they managed to do that. That's ridiculous. Like, surely that should have been flagged by somebody. And then the worst one, oh, don't tell me there's actually more. Okay, I need to, like, grab these so it almost looks like it's attached to the post. If you say some shit like expired milk, I am going to lose my damn mind. Going to grab Actually, I need to make the proportional meaning a bit smaller, just to... A clip... I'm sorry, I just skipped slightly forward in that message. Let me just repeat that out loud for the class. A clip of a girl practically laughing at a kid setting a screen on fire in the theater, literally committing arson. I want to say that is bullshit. I unfortunately know a lot of people who are dumb enough to do that. So I cannot in good conscience say that you're lying. I cannot say that. Like, unfortunately, I'm forced to believe you just purely based off of past experiences alone. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this generation? On God, like, what is wrong with these people? I shouldn't even have this flipping through slightly. Just make it look like it's shredded and caught on there. That's not a bad idea. And then I hide this one from the main character. Just hide that and those. Now for this, I do want to continue posing because I need to like squint the character's eyes a little bit, because when you think about the character, like in the context of the world, like there's water literally dripping in through those eye sockets, and that cannot be comfortable. So those do need to be lowered a bit. But like for real, actually setting a movie screen on fire, no wonder these kids are like getting barred from going to the theaters in the evening. Because like bro, what the hell is that? Like I'm pretty sure even Bob Ross and Steve Rogers would not be proud of these kids. Like they are not treating others with kindness, to be honest with you. Alright, so I want to lower this just a tiny smidge. There we go. Now if I chuck this on cycles, I mean it's good, but I think I'd want to have like I'd probably even say volumetric fog just to make the underwater look slightly cloudy. I might... Is it just me, or is the coloring on this too purple? Like, that's a really weirdly specific complaint to have, but I think this does look legitimately too purple. I'm gonna put it more into the dark blue range. And then for the secondary, I'm gonna maybe make that a lighter blue. Yeah, like I don't know why this one doesn't have nearly as much sway. Okay, that looks a little bit more reasonable. Like, I cannot imagine being a parent. Like, I imagine the kid's parents don't know about this. Because if they did, like, if it were my parents, my ass would not exist on this plane of existence anymore if I did shit like that. Like, if I was a kid and I did that, like, I would be actually beaten to death. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these. Actually, was it just the points I got rid of? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like, I could not imagine being a parent, seeing my kid do that and thinking, oh, it's fine, little Timmy can do whatever, he's just having a bad day. And I'm just like, bitch. Like, not even respectfully at that point, just bro. Right, now, I believe this is actually within view, and this does provide a bit of lighting, so I need to have a look at Lost Fleet. So this, I need to... This one, here we go. So Lost Fleet, I think the portal itself is green, perhaps? Spyro 3. Like, the actual map mostly is green anyway. But unfortunately, the main images I have for that is actually from the Reignited trilogy, and that's why it annoys me. Because the coloring differences between Spyro 3 and Spyro 3 Reignited are so large that I prefer using the Spyro 3 original color palette. But that's just a personal right. Alright, time to pull up a Spanish video, huh? Okay, so that... Okay, here we go. Now, this does dark blue. Actually, it has a dark blue and purple backdrop. I mean, it is correct that there's a slight amount of green coming out of it, but that's actually coming from the floor. But the floor here is white, which makes me think that this is an additional lighting effect coming from the portal. Regardless, I need to recreate this as best I can, which is not too difficult. I just need to grab myself a plane, rotate it until I can confidently say it's in the correct spot, which will probably be around about 32 degrees approximate. Now if I do this, actually, scale out like that. Just need to scale this up a smidge more so it fills this entire section here. Okay, that looks to be relatively even. So I'm going to go into the shading workspace for this. I'm going to set this back to Eevee. In fact, I'm even going to set this to be the regular material preview. And portal. Texture. Now, the base color needs to be a black color, or like probably even a dark purple. Probably, yeah, roughly around there, I think is accurate. Well, it does seem to be blue, so I'm going to, yeah, roughly around about there. Maybe slightly, like a smidge lighter. Yeah, okay. So, actually, what the hell am I doing? I can just do this. There we go. Now that's a more accurate color. I do forget that Blender can just do that. So if I go into the texture, I can do a probably point density. If I do this, it doesn't actually show anything though. So maybe this is the wrong one. Maybe I want something different to be acting as. Actually, I can just plug a sky texture into this, just straight up. Oh, I can. Well, that's convenient. So if I set the sun elevation to be basically non-existent. The problem is that it only shows black when hitting nighttime. So it doesn't really help me in this case. So I'm going to maybe set it to around about there and just mess around with the air until I find the perfect sweet spot. Okay, so it doesn't really help here. I do know the ozone makes things a bit darker. Actually, why am I doing this? Because I know this can be quite janky. Speaking of appearance, I've been comments, many comments of people literally calling out the ones actually having decency of calling out the kids for being disrespectful and full on evil by saying they're the fun police, acting like all the shit the kids are doing is okay. Sorry if that was confusing. No, it was not. I have trouble with wording sometimes. Yeah, so basically, the parents who are calling out. Sorry. The people who are calling out the kids are being harassed by the kids' parents for basically getting their little shitlings into trouble, rightfully so. Like, I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm genuinely not. Gradient texture, mate? Well, I mean, gradient texture would be good for, just doing the coloring on this, but I want something that can emulate stars. Maybe white noise? I know this sounds a bit odd. Oh, there needs to be a vector plugged into this. I don't think vectors are going to be helpful here. So what other options do I have? I have, like, your, maybe a noise texture, actually. If I set the scale of this to be quite small... Actually, if I set it to 2D... 2D, 1D, 1D? No, 1D doesn't help here. And to add to that, apparently there was a director that was acting like it was okay just because of the amount of money that the movie has made because of the stupid fucking trend. Yeah, like, that money's being made at the expense of cinemas actually actively suffering from just people being complete and utter dipshits. Like, is it really necessary to inconvenience everyone else over a shitty name? Like, admittedly, I'm not sure, I haven't decided on this yet. I was considering on going back and watching the movie a second time, but I don't know if that is worth it anymore. Just purely based on the stuff that I've been seeing now. Like, it's less likely to happen in New Zealand, but I can't entirely count it out. Yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to do stars. Like, I could steal something from the Minecraft thing, like the Minecraft side of things, but I don't think that's really helpful here. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do point density either. Like, I can plug that into color, but it's not going to be helpful. Particle system, versus... I mean, where you're at, I doubt it would happen. It's honestly all in America. I feel like it's probably a problem in a lot of major areas. The only reason I say it would be less likely to happen in New Zealand is because the movie was actually filmed here. And, like... if I wanted to... Like, as you know, the Americans are... Yeah, the Americans do be like that sometimes. But... No, I don't see New Zealanders wanting to disrespect something that was filmed in their country. And that's the only reason I say it probably wouldn't happen here. Yeah, I don't know, chat. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about making star texture. I would have to... I don't want to pull up a Minecraft sky texture in here because I know it's going to absolutely obliterate what I already have in the world settings. So I am going to just quickly pull this up on a secondary monitor and see where I can go from there. So Minecraft related and... probably thumbnail world would be my best option here. I shall be right back real quick. Okay, take your time, Foxy. So I go into shading and go into world and pop this open. So how do they go about doing the stars? Sun, moon, yep. Rotational object, hour of day, horizon mapping, generate stars, here we go. They use a brick texture? I'm sorry, that was not what I was expecting. I'm looking at this, I'm sorry. They use a brick texture for this? Like, how does this happen? Huh. The more you know, I guess. Let me just yoink this entire section for a second here. So if I'm sorry, bricks were not what I was expecting. So if I add in a brick texture and if I plug this into the base color, it's just gonna show up as bricks. But if I get rid of the squash, frequency to 3, set that frequency to 1. Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. 0.05 for the mortar size. That's correct. Bias is 0.9. Brick width is 2. And row height is just 2. Now, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe it. It's just straight up a brick texture. Feels like I've been hit over the back of the head with a brick just knowing about this. And I'm going to apply the scale on this thing. And then I guess I just technically faff about with it until it works as intended. Ah, okay, so that does work. What the fuck? Okay, who figured this out? How did they figure it out? And why does it work so well? How? Huh? Okay, I need to copy this into the base color. Yeah, that just... I mean, like, it doesn't look round, which I didn't expect because it is still square stars, but huh? How do you figure this out? Is there any way to make it round-ish? Probably not. But I can still do the alpha from this. Which is what I mainly wanted. Alpha? No, emission rather. So if I plug that into here, and I set the strength to 1. If I set this to cycles now, this should glow. Yeah, it just adds a really minor effect. Like, it just adds a minor amount of color down to the section. Now, I do want to add a mist into this. And I'm trying to remember, because it's been a while since I've had to add one of these. So I need to add a cube and scale it a considerable amount. And I'm going to actually scale this even more because I want this to... There we go. Pull it down a bit. Alright, so that should be sufficient. Now I need to set this somehow to be a fog of some variety. Let's see if I remember how to do this. So in cycles, there should be a setting coming in. So I want volume, I believe. So if I go into where is my focus? So if I set this to volume and I do volume scatter, and then now whenever I do this I can just set the density up and down. Placement. Now I need to remember, first of all I can like remove this from the thing, I think. Like I can set the viewport display to be, where is it? I like that, that's for sure. There's like a viewport display where I can set this to be transparent. There we go, wired. Now, if I grab this thing, go into the volume scatter, I want to set this to like a light blue. Like a very light blue. And wait, are the sun, do I need to set the sun for volume related purposes? Probably. And I need to have shadows and force sticks enabled on these. No. I'm back. Welcome back, Foxy. I'm just trying to remember how to do volumes. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's volume scatter is the correct one. I'll just quickly go into the shading workspace and just... Oh, it's because it's on surface and not volume. Who the fuck designs it like that? Like, respectfully, who does that? Okay, there we go. That looks a bit better. So now if I set this to cycles, I actually need to... yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry, but like, obviously if I'm doing volume scatter, I don't want it set to surface. I want it to be set to volume. So why does it set to surface by default? Who does that? Like, brother. Like, why you like this? Also, I'm going to set this up just slightly more. Okay, that works. Anyway, I am going to end stream before I mold over there even more, and I've still got to do everything I need to. So, just going to grab that. But yeah, Foxy, you're going to have to elaborate on some of the stuff people are doing at the showings of the Minecraft movie, because this sounds absolutely wild to me. Like, as somebody who's just quietly sitting in the corner in New Zealand, I cannot comprehend this at all. Anyway, I don't seem to have anyone to raid, so I am going to just pop off the evening. I hope you all have a good night.